So the Zenless Zone Zero patch 2.5 livestream just ended, and in it they went over all of the cool new things that we can expect when the update arrives at the end of the year. Now whether you missed it or don't have time to rewatch it, I'll give you a quick rundown on everything covered on the stream. First things first though, the redemption code is voidhunter 1230. That is the date of the new update. Make sure you redeem this quickly as it only lasts a day, but there is also a Twitter event where you could win 10 master tapes. All you have to do is follow the Twitter account and then quote the tweet in the description below, along with the corresponding hashtag. This Twitter event is also only for a limited time, so be sure to act fast. Starting things off though, as for what you can expect in the main story of patch 2.5, this is going to be what everything has been building up to, with the story being described as the final battle for Waifei Peninsula, where we will get a glimpse into the past and uncover more secrets about Carol Anna, and we'll finally see this mayor that we've been talking to this whole time. And we will also take on some hidden ancient power lurking in the shadows. Notably though, in the trailer, one of the voices says to prepare for the return of Yokai, which is the name of one of the AI similar to Fairy. So all of you lore chads out there will finally have a crumb of the other AIs playing into the story now. In this new patch, we will explore a new mining area in the mountainside, as well as face a plethora of new miasmic enemies, including an enemy that will introduce some new types of attacks that go beyond just the red or yellow flashes that we dodge or parry. Now, if you have not yet caught up to the story in time, don't worry, as there will be a story advance feature that will let you jump to the latest chapter and enjoy it in full when the patch does arrive. And then you can go back and complete the older chapters in your own free time whenever you want to. But of course, the highlight of the patch are the agents that it will introduce. So let's first go over Ye Shunguang. She is an S-rank attacker with the element of Honed Edge. Ye Shunguang's gameplay all revolves around her entering her enlightened mind state, which not only puts her into the Ether Veil state, but also unlocks a lot more of her attacks, which make her do way more damage. You'll know she is in this state because she'll be using the power of the Qingming sword and her hair will be white, letting her attacks deal honed edge damage while also applying a special vulnerability effect on the enemies. Now there are two ways to enter the enlightened mind state. The first is to build up 6 stacks of Qingming sword force, which is done by attacking enemies herself, or by having supports or defender teammates hit an enemy, or alternatively, by having teammates activate Ether Veil, which will also provide 3 stacks. Once at 6 stacks, Ye Shunguang will enter the enlightened state. The other method is to simply just use her ultimate. Doing this will perform a special attack that then puts her into the enlightened state. However, just like Yidhari, while in this enlightened state, you can trigger your ultimate again to unleash another big ultimate attack that will end the enlightened state. So your gameplay loop for Ye Shunguang is going to revolve around entering this enlightened state as often as possible to dish out huge damage. A special note can be made though for her synergy with Dai Lin, because don't forget that Dai Lin can cheat out a chain attack where the other agent comes in using their ultimate attack, which again is one of the ways that Ye Shunguang can enter the enlightened mind state. And then we have Zhao, an S-rank ice defender. Whenever other agents do damage or whenever Zhao uses her skills, she will get stacks of frostbite. And then at max stacks of frostbite, the next time she enters combat, she will activate Ether Veil, providing buffs to the whole team and letting Zhao trigger quick assists off of her attacks. And when you do follow up on one of those quick assists to another agent, Zhao will continue charging up an attack to carry on the assault even while being off field. Zhao can use her EX skill to drain her own HP, doing a big overhead slash while also granting an HP regen effect to the team. This feels like another case of an S-rank defender, providing pseudo buffs to the rest of the squad, similar to Caesar. Alongside these 2 new agents though, we will also get a new Bangbu, Sprout, which you will be able to select when doing your pulls on the Bangbu banner. Speaking of banners though, as we were expecting, both the Zhao and Ye Shunguang banners will be running simultaneously throughout patch 2.5. However, upon logging in for the first time in patch 2.5, a free copy of Zhao will be given away to all players. At the same time though, there will be a special rerun banner called the Exclusive Rescreening Banner. This banner will let you choose between Alice, Soldier Anby, and Astra Yao as a targeted S-rank, and then when you pull an S-rank on this banner, it will be guaranteed to be the person that you select. You will also get a 20% discount on your first 10 pull on this banner. This will apply for both the agent and the engine banner featuring the corresponding engines. Do note though that this exclusive rescreening banner will carry a different pity counter from your other typical limited banners. And if you don't go to the full pity, the remaining amount will be carried over, but to the next time an exclusive rescreening banner is done. When that will be, who knows? Although it would be cool if we see this type of rerun banner more often, where you can select who you want out of a roster of 3, and you're guaranteed to get them on your first S-rank pool. But speaking of Zhao being given away for free, there's actually a lot more stuff being given out for free, so let's go over those. Firstly, upon login in patch 2.5, a new skin will be available for Jane Doe, with a 100% discount in the monochrome shop, so basically a free skin. Please be absolutely sure to claim this during patch 2.5 before it goes back to being a paid skin. Even if you don't have Jane yourself, you don't want to miss the skin. Trust me, you do not want to miss the skin. There will be another skin available though for Ye Shunguang, but this will be a paid skin that you will have to buy. Then, as a thank you for winning the PlayStation Grand Award earlier this year, a gift of 1000 polychrome will be given out on January 1st. But starting now already, we have the coronation of the Voidhunter event starting in-game, where you can log in for a total of 480 polychrome across several days. And there is also a pre-registration award for patch 2.5, where simply pre-registering will earn you another 320 polychrome. But on the pre-register site, there are also some lucky draws where if you share your link and get people to pre-register using your link, you can earn extra entries for some cool prizes. Now, coming back to patch 2.5, yes, there is a new Jane skin, but what if you don't have her? Well, there is one way that you can get her, and that is with the Filmgoer Spending event. Now, I repeat, this is a spending event. So by spending real money on buying either monochrome packs or internet memberships, you will earn ticket stubs that will provide progress to certain rewards, which include an S-rank engine and agent selector that will let you pick from a set of 9 agents, including the launch agents as well as Jane, Burnice, and Chengyi. But what other content can we expect in patch 2.5, aside from the main story and new agents? Well, firstly, there is the Epilogue Sword Seeker Chronicles event, which will feature a story revolving around Ye Shunguang and her special Qingming realm, where we will learn more about her, as well as earning a free A-rank engine from this event. And then something that everybody's been waiting for, the Joint Investigation Divine Maze event will be a co-op event, where you and 2 others will form a team to take on different stages. You will only be able to pick from a selection of 9 agents though, and this event will be a sort of trial for potential future co-op implementations, which will hopefully be expanded upon later. Then there will also be some smaller side events throughout the patch, like for example the Angels and Delusions of Muse, where we will accompany the Angels of Delusion as they find inspiration for their new songs. Or the Wish Filling Station event, where Nicole has started throwing messages in bottles into the ocean. This will be one of those events where you get a bottle charge each time you spend batteries every day that you can then redeem for rewards. And of course we will have another round of VR combat in Shadow Riptide Clash, the usual trial stages where you can test out trial versions of the agents over at the HIA. We can also expect to see double drops for combat materials as well as disk drives during the patch. Speaking of disk drives though, 2 new sets will be introduced in patch 2.5. The White Water Ballad, which is basically the Ye Shunguang disc set, as well as the Shining Aria set, an Ether Anomaly set which looks very much like it will be for one of the Angels of Delusion girls. Aside from events though, there will also be some updates to the permanent modes. For Shiyu Defense, there will now only be 4 critical stages from now on, with a bonus 5th stage, where you will need 3 different teams and the combined performance of them will be assessed. This 5th stage will have a new scoring system, whereby killing enemies and dealing damage will increase your score. Each of the 3 stages will have different buffs, so it's kind of like Deadly Assault in a way, but with more mobs as opposed to a single boss that's a damage sponge. By getting an S rank on stage 5, it will automatically clear the first 3 stages of the next cycle, which means that you would only need to do stages 4 and 5 for each cycle. Don't worry though, the introduction of a new floor and with more requirements will be counteracted by having the rewards increased too in Shiyu Defense. Deadly Assault has also had some quality of life features where you will now be able to view recommended teams based on what others have been using so far. Or alternatively, you can have Fairy recommend 3 teams based on your available agent roster. Speaking of quality of life though, there are also a bunch of new quality of life improvements too. The biggest one is that you will now be able to choose substats on discs when performing calibration over at Bardic Needle. You can do this by using the new Resonating Core item, which you can get by converting 2 tuning calibrators into 1 Resonating Core. Patch 2.5 will also introduce new buffs for older agents, namely Burnice, Soldier 11 and Grace, as well as some more enhancements for Ellen and Sanby 2. This will be done in the new Potential Visions menu. There are 6 levels of vision, but all the big upgrades are focused at level 1 though, with the other 5 just providing further enhancements and boosts. You can enhance these agents by progressing through these potential visions, and you unlock these potential visions with currency that you earn for free as you play the game, called Daily Performance. For example, you can get it by completing your Redo weekly rewards or from the Outpost Logistics store. Then another big quality of life is the ability to sweep stages for instant rewards. You will need to use batteries to do this as opposed to your regular energy, but don't worry, you'll be able to convert your energy charge into ether batteries in order to use them for sweeping stages on a regular basis. But otherwise though, those are the biggest things to look forward to in patch 2.5. Of course, lots of cool freebies including a free S-rank agent, a very nice Jane skin being given out for free, some fancy new characters as well as lots of new game modes to look forward to. What are you excited for the most in the upcoming patch? Let me know down in the comments below. For me, it's 100% that Jane skin. But otherwise, thank you all for watching until the end. If you enjoyed, then as usual, liking, commenting and subscribing is greatly appreciated. Otherwise, until next time, bye bye!